Tesha Ring.
Right here at QVC.
Hi, Lovey.
Hey, how are you?
Good to have
Hello,
you back.
everyone.
You know what?
We need a drum roll.
It's a pan, and it's back, and it's brand spanking new. One of the most popular items you've ever brought in Temp-tations.
That's right.
Has been your various versions of the tube pan.
Yes.
This one is brand new tonight.
We are constantly asked because the option out there are those metal tube pans that buckle in the oven because you can't control the heat. Ours actually is stoneware, David. So what I love so much about it is, of course, it's stoneware, so it goes in the oven up to 500 degrees, the dishwasher, the fridge, the freezer, the microwave if you're making something in there. But then we kit it, of course, with our, what we like to call our deep dish lid it. So this actually now is that serving tray for whatever you're making that you can turn out, ice, and show. Or, of course, it becomes the lid and you have that double duty cooking. So now your fluted tube pan becomes so much more than just that. It's actually a system, a baking system, a serving system that you can use, and it has all of that scallop detail, all of the individual hand painting. And when you talk about a piece that's hard to make, this is exactly one of those pieces. Now you will notice when you get it at home, you have an unglazed, what we call foot ring. However, it is fired, it is completely safe. And the reason why it's unglazed is when you are firing this piece, it needs to sit flat in the kiln so that everything else is glazed and everything is secure. So just wanted you to know that when you are getting it home, completely food safe. All of our products are. And then of course, your deep dish lid it, perfect, ready to go with the helper handles there on the side as well.
Now, we have Old World and Floral Lace, but we are much more limited in the Old World. Now, if you want confetti, the one you were just showing.
Yes.
350 to go around.
Wow.
Here it is in the black. 200 in the black. This is eggplant. 200 green. 300. This is cranberry.
I think that's the red.
Or is that red?
I think
Beg your
it's red.
pardon. That's red. 180, and then finally the blue. 275. Now down below is your floral lace.
Look
this
how
is
pretty.
light blue. 225 of those. This is that cobalt blue. Oh.
Your inky cobalt blue.
Inky cobalt blue. Oh, I love this so much. 700. Here's the red. 400 the black. 350 the green. 275, and finally the eggplant. 220. It's important to know we did not bring in every color in Old World and Floral Lace because we wanted to see how you liked this item. So we brought in what have been our most popular colors in these two patterns. And then if you are voting with your orders tonight that you love it, then we'll work on bringing more colors.
Of course we will. We love that. Okay, so let's talk about some of the traditional things that we do. Thank you.
Got it.
That we do with a fluted tube pan. One of the things that I grew up eating, one of the things that was always a staple in our home, were to do, of course, our classic Jell-O mold. So take a peek at that. Literally nothing on the inside, pops right out, which I love because, again, everything is naturally nonstick. Now, there's that extra perk. You have that serving platter, David, so I can literally make that Jell-O mold, turn it out onto that platter, and then cut it on here, serve it on here, and you got it. Watch it. Oh, I guess you can't sing that, can you? Wiggle, see it, jiggle. And it's replacing these pieces that actually, you're just going to wiggle the whole show?
A little bit.
We'll wiggle it. This is what replaces.
Just a little bit.
This is what replaces, again, all of those traditional pieces. Now you have a great stoneware piece that you can not only put in your fridge, but let's walk on over to the oven because here's what I love. That lid it is not only a serving platter, but it actually becomes double duty cooking.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Done.
What we did. So in here,
Are those nachos up top?
you betcha.
Might that be chili down below?
How did you know?
That was a wild guess.
Have you been sneaking a peek?
It was a wild guess.
So we have a beautiful deep dish plate of nachos that sits atop a gorgeous bubbling chili that, look at that. Now we did sweet in here, but we also did savory in here. That ooey gooey melted cheese that we have. We have the big deal sneak peek coming up this weekend where we actually did our salsa and we did our sour cream. So look at, just by pairing these pieces together, David, we've set an amazing appetizer as well as something hearty that we did. Look at what we did down in front too. We turned it into a punch bowl. So can you do that with your fluted tube? Would you do that with your fluted tube pan? Probably not.
No, it'd be an old metal ugly pan up in the cabinet. I wouldn't do that.
But look at this. We turned it into, of course, a great little punch bowl as well. So that's the versatility of Temp-tations. That's what our brand is all about. Making life easier in your kitchen, but giving you lots of different ways to use some of the iconic pieces that you've only gotten and you've been able to receive in glass and metal.
Tara, 500 of these are now gone. Everybody is grabbing their color. Just to let you know, you're going to get the color on the handles, the primary color on the handles, and then the decorative color on the inside and on the outside and in the liddet.
And I forgot to
storage
mention the
cover.
plastic storage cover. So if this is something that you want to make, bake, and take, you certainly can. If you have leftovers in there, you can do that as well. Thank
very
you.
much.
Let me hold that for you.
This is confetti.
Beautiful.
200 left.
Gorge.
Black. 180. Here is your eggplant. 180. Green. 240. This is the red. 150 in that red, and finally the blue. 220 to go around. Now, down below, light blue. 200. Then I've got blue. 600. Then the red. 350. Then the black. 325. There's your green. 260. And then finally your eggplants.
And just
Fewer than
showing you
200.
how that reverse painting is on, of course, your deep dish liddet, the beading that runs around the edges. Again, your helper handles here that make it super easy to not only carry it, but also turn things out that maybe you've made inside here. So everything you've come to love from a fluted tube, but made in Temptation style. So the deep dish liddet, the helper handles, the snap-on storage covers that really give you the system, David. So when you're coming from hot and cold, when you're doing things like a traditional bundt cake that you see here, where we've gone right ahead and iced it right on. Now look at this. We take this platter, we're ready to go. So we baked in it, we turned it out. We now have the extra added step of having the serving platter to then bring it. This is something you have been requesting from us for a very long time. They're very hard to do. They're very challenging. But again, what I love about it is whether it's our loaf pans, whether it's our cupcake pans, whether it's our fluted tube, these are those iconic baking pieces that you can do so much more with. We put ice in here. We put our shrimp cocktail. We could have our clams. We could do so many different things. And this stays nice and cold. We put this together about maybe an hour before the show, and everything has stayed put. Everything has stayed nice and cold. Would you again do that in your metal fluted tube? Most likely you would not.
Well,
you certainly would. You could.
It wouldn't be pretty.
It would not be pretty. It probably wouldn't stay icy cold like your stoneware does, and you most likely wouldn't use this as a punch bowl, wouldn't use it for a Jell-O mold, certainly wouldn't make nachos in it because you don't have that lid. So
Look
again,
at the little house.
oh, that's what we take away from this. The little house to go with our shrimp.
To go with the shrimp.
Right.
It's a little house.
Good segue.
All right, this is 3 easy payments of $12.28. How many gone now, Sean? Over 1,000 now
Thank
spoken
you.
for. If there's a
Thank
color
you,
you
thank you.
need, get it now, because if
True,
we sell out,
true.
it could be
We have
months.
nothing on order behind it. So
Okay,
not
well-
to say we wouldn't, but we just don't currently. Because we want to know if you love it and what colors you want added.
And this is the little house.
Shh, kidding. That was something he would do.
No,
That was
it's a
something he
little
would do.
house.
Hey, I have a Jell-O mold for you. You want to wiggle on over?
Watch it wiggle.
Stace, you want to wiggle with us?
It jiggle.
How about we go to Stace?
Tara, what do you think of my florals?
I
My costume
actually,
change.